I was planning a surprise anniversary trip for my husband, until I found a hidden folder on his laptop titled Do Not Open with over 200 photos of him with my sister, my mom, and even my bridesmaid on our wedding night. I was booking our anniversary trip to Bali when I accidentally clicked on the wrong folder. Do not open in bold letters. My finger hovered over the trackpad for maybe 3 seconds before I double-clicked. I wish I hadn't. I wish I'd died before I saw what was inside. 237 photos. My husband of 4 years with my sister Sarah. With my mom. With Jessica, my maid of honor, still in her bridesmaid dress from our wedding night. All of them. All the women I trusted most in the world, naked with the man I'd been planning a romantic getaway for just minutes before. The timestamps went back 6 years. Before we were even engaged. The most recent was from last Tuesday when I was at my book club and thought he was working late. Sarah was supposed to be watching Netflix at home. The photo showed her bent over our kitchen counter, the same counter where I'd made him breakfast that morning. I thought we were solid. 4 years married, 8 together total. We owned a house. We had plans for kids next year. I'd been so stupid, so blindly happy, posting anniversary countdowns on Instagram while he was apparently running a harem behind my back. Every family dinner, every girls' night, every wedding celebration had been a lie. They were all in on it except me. The worst part wasn't even the betrayal. It was realizing how pathetic I'd been. How they must have laughed at me. Poor Emma, so clueless. Sarah hugging me at Christmas while secretly texting him. Mom asking about grandkids while she was the one making sure there wouldn't be any. Jessica giving that beautiful maid of honor speech about true love hours before she was in my husband's bed. I sat there staring at the screen until my eyes burned. Photo after photo of my entire world having sex behind my back. Group photos too. My sister and my mom together with him. Jessica and Sarah. All of them together in what looked like our guest bedroom. They'd turned my home into their personal brothel. The folder had subfolders. Sarah, 2019 to present. Mom, started 2020. Jessica, wedding night special. He'd organized my humiliation like a filing system. There were videos too. I clicked on one and heard my sister moaning my husband's name in my living room while I was at work. I slammed the laptop shut and threw up in the kitchen sink. When Jake came home at 8 p.m. with takeout and a smile, I was still sitting at his laptop. He saw the screen and his face went completely white. No denials. No explanations. Just this terrible quiet recognition that it was over. Emma, He started. Don't. I reopened the laptop and turned it toward him. Just don't. He sat down across from me and we stared at each other in complete silence. 4 years of marriage, 8 years together, and there was literally nothing left to say. He hadn't just cheated. He'd orchestrated the complete destruction of every relationship that mattered to me. There was no coming back from this. No therapy. No forgiveness. No second chances. I'll pack tonight, he said finally. Good. My voice sounded like someone else's. Take everything. I don't want anything that's been in this house. That was it. The last real conversation we'd ever have. He packed 3 suitcases and left without another word. I sat in our empty bedroom and realized I had no one to call. No one to comfort me. Everyone I would have turned to had been in those photos. The divorce was fast and brutal. I gave him everything just to make it end. The house, the car, most of our savings. I didn't want anything that reminded me of the life I'd been living in complete delusion. His lawyer looked confused when I signed away my rights to almost everything, but I just wanted out. Sarah blocked my number before I could even confront her. Mom did the same. Jessica changed her Instagram to private and moved to Portland without telling me. I found out from a mutual friend who asked why I wasn't at her going away party. They'd all coordinated their exits like they'd coordinated everything else. I lost my entire family in one day. Not just my husband, but my sister who'd been my best friend since childhood. My mom who I'd called every Sunday for 10 years. My closest friend who'd helped me pick out my wedding dress. They chose him over me without hesitation, and suddenly I understood that they'd been choosing him all along. Work became unbearable. Jake worked in the same industry, and somehow everyone knew. The story had spread through our professional network like wildfire. Emma's husband was sleeping with her whole family. People either avoided me completely or stared with this mixture of pity and fascination. I started eating lunch in my car and eventually quit without notice. I moved into a studio apartment across town and spent most nights staring at the ceiling, trying to figure out how I'd been so blind. All those times Sarah stopped by when Jake was home alone. All those family gatherings where they seemed unusually comfortable with each other. Mom always taking his side in arguments. Jessica insisting on staying over after our wedding instead of going home. The signs had been everywhere. I'd just been too trusting, too stupid, too convinced that the people who claimed to love me actually did. I kept remembering moments that made sense now. Sarah borrowing my perfume before running errands. Mom buying Jake expensive gifts for no reason. Jessica always volunteering to help set up when we hosted parties, spending hours alone with him in the kitchen. 6 months later, I found out through LinkedIn that Jake had gotten Sarah pregnant. They were engaged. Mom was planning the baby shower. Jessica was flying back to be in the wedding. They'd all moved on like I'd never existed, building their new happy family on the ashes of my old one. I tried therapy, but how do you explain that your entire support system was a lie? The therapist kept asking about my trust issues like this was something I needed to work through instead of a completely rational response to discovering that everyone close to me had been living a double life for years. I haven't spoken to any of them since that night. I changed my number, deleted all social media, and started over completely. Made new friends who don't know my story. Started dating someone who's never heard of Jake or Sarah or any of them. But I check his phone obsessively. I follow him to work sometimes. I can't help it. Some betrayals don't make you stronger. They just teach you that the people who say they love you might be the ones planning your destruction. And once you learn that lesson, you can never unlearn it. Trust isn't something you can rebuild when the blueprints were lies from the start.